essentially, the vision for this Fluency in Perspective resource came from one of our ONlit team members, Lisa Rogers. And really, the idea was to create a series of passages that oftentimes we don't have access to, or they're not accessible to us. You know, if I'm a grade 8, grade 7 teacher, particularly in the intermediate division, and I want to have some passages for students to read aloud together, or to read in small groups, or even one-on-one with a teacher who maybe wants to work with a student independently. Where do I turn to? Oftentimes, our resources are coming from the United States, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with those resources at times, but oftentimes we don't have the perspective, the Canadian perspective, in terms of diversity and diverse voices. So collectively, a team of us, who felt some passion and excitement about this proposal from Lisa, started to have conversations and dialogue and envisioning what this resource might look like. And, it took some time and several meetings, well, many meetings, but, we worked as a team to collaborate and really decide on who might these individuals be who have demonstrated some sort of change here across Turtle Island in Canada. So we decided that we would highlight these key individuals and we would create passages that focus on these individuals. We looked at the work of Goldie Mohammed, who, in my board anyway, in the TDSB, is quite prominent. We do a lot of our framework when it comes to culturally relevant and responsive pedagogy. A lot of our work comes from her research, and so we brought her voice into sort of our guiding questions when creating these passages and resources. We really wanted to ensure that the criticality was also part of these rich resources, so that it would really be a great entry point for ongoing dialogue and conversation, because we know the oral language piece is also a big part of our student learning. The fluency instruction piece, we looked at, lexile levels and, sort of went back and forth in terms of, what would be an appropriate lexile level and length, right? So we used some research to also finally reach a number, and we continue to have dialogue around that. But there's something called a lexile reading level support system. There's a resource out there that we use to help sort of determine what the lexile level would be. And then really we went back and forth together, carefully considering these perspectives, whose voices are underrepresented, whose voices are dominant. We really wanted to spark that critical thinking in students and really tie in historical pieces, values, and experiences of individuals all across Canada. The other thing is that we really wanted to embed some fluency routines. So in the document itself, you will see some suggestions that have been made by us in terms of what instructional routines you can use, i.e. repeated reading, partner reading, and also paragraph shrinking as well. Also great evidence-based instructional routines that you could embed into your fluency reading program. And really, these routines can be from kindergarten all the way up to grade 8, but we created this specifically for grade 8 teachers, the intermediate level. We hear you intermediate teachers as well. We know that this is an area that we as a team at ONlit want to give some attention and focus to, particularly this year. And so we heard you, and so we created this resource. Within each fluency passage itself, there are suggestions. So we have words that matter. We have pulled out highlight words that you could do some pre-teaching to. And I love the way Dr. Anita Archer, there are some great videos out there, and she models for you how to enter into a text, right? That pre-teaching, highlighting key pronunciations, morphology, etymology as well, if it's appropriate. But we want to really highlight those words for students even before we enter the document so that their comprehension is even deepened. We pull out some tier 2 vocabulary words as well, found in the passage, that you could also use for explicit vocabulary routines. And then also, we also showcase some sentences, right? Some syntactical structures as well that might benefit you when teaching how to structure and read those sentences, but also will help students in their writing as well. So that's pretty much the gist of what each passage contains. And then you can start to build routines around that, because we know the power of routines in terms of just building engagement and confidence in our students when they feel like there's some automatic practice happening in their classrooms. It definitely helps with their learning. They don't have to focus so much on the task. They can focus now on the content. And also for us as teachers as well, when we have these practices that are automatic as well, it also helps us with our own instruction. So we really wanted to embed some instructional routines as well for you. And then coming up, I mean, I at this point now, we want to move now to grade 7 and create some rich resources that you can use for fluency practice at the grade 7 level. And then certainly I think we probably will move to grade 6 and then work our way all the way down the grades. But the importance of just fluency practice, that repeated practice in the classroom, we felt was very critical. And so we created this amazing resource. We hope that you will take a look, share it with your intermediate teachers in your buildings, at your school sites, let them know about it, because it's a great collection of key individuals. And if there's any suggestions that you have, we really appreciate your comments when you do leave comments for us, because we do go back, we do read them, and we do take them into account. So that was just a little highlight of this process. It's been very joyful for all of us to be part of this process in creating these fluency passages that we felt really, we didn't have them. Where do we turn to? And so there's a series of passages there for you, ready to go, and some instructional routines as well that you can adopt as well. So.